This video is sponsored by Tokyo Treats and Sakurako. More on them a little later. Sup everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Tighnari, and he's kind of the new flavor of the month along with Dendro. Wow, what a surprise. Now I don't want to sit here and try to sell this character to you guys because truth be told it's very difficult to put a finger on exactly how good Tighnari is right now with no reference to other 5-star Dendro characters. We can talk about, however, how relevant the Dendro element is going to be. Surprise, surprise, it's going to be insanely relevant to whatever the meta is going to be shaped going forward. As you guys can see my team on the side here, this is the one that I've kind of fallen into as I've tried him out a little more. More on that a little later as well, but for now, let's just get over the hump right now. That disclosure, okay? Tighnari is going to be insanely inflated, not only because he's the first Dendro character, but he's the only 5-star Dendro character. Let's be honest here. You can probably theorize the Dendro Archon is going to be more universally effective than Tighnari. You can probably have characters in the future that are more offensive focused, support focused, and all that stuff. And as more of those characters comes out, you can see Tighnari's role just sliding down the tier list or this theoretical hierarchy of Dendro supremacy. Okay, but right this very moment, Tighnari is insanely good. He's actually already destroyed a lot of the pre-release concern that I had when it comes to his playstyle, his kit, and just his overall usefulness. Truly a character that offers a unique playstyle and definitely one that we've never seen before due to the nature of the Dendro element and its reactions. If you're after a unique experience, Tighnari is going to be a great pickup, just like our sponsor for this video. Tokyo Treats is a monthly Japanese snack subscription box. By signing up, you will get up to 20 of the latest, most exclusive, limited and seasonal flavored Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan for a limited time. Items such as Sakura Pepsi, Japanese sake Kit Kats, and many more. Sakurako is also a monthly Japanese snack subscription box, and in this you will receive 20 traditional and authentic artisan Japanese snack items, including Japanese teas and 1 special Japanese tableware with your box every month. So Sakurako helps in partnering with local Japanese snack makers to continue to share Japanese culture and traditions that have been passed down for over 100 years with the rest of the world. Both Tokyo Treats and Sakurako boxes come with different themes every month to keep things exciting and fresh for you to enjoy as you unbox them. For this month's theme, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako both have Tsukimi theme with special box designs. Tsukimi or moon viewing is Japanese festival for the autumn moon in September, expressing gratitude for good harvest and hoping for another good year. Tokyo Treat invites you to join them in celebrating Tsukimi through the Moon Festival Munchie Box, which contains a variety of seasonal and exclusive Japanese snacks inspired by Tsukimi such as Salt Lemon Kit Kat, Mikan Mochi, and Full Moon Pond Cracker. Meanwhile, Sakurako celebrates Tsukimi through its Kyoto Moon Festival Box. Partnering with local Kyoto government, they invite you to experience the cultural and culinary rich snacks of Kyoto, the birthplace of Japan's Tsukimi celebration. All snacks pair excellently with Gion Tsujiri Hojicha in this month's box. Tokyo Treats and Sakurako wants to share the Japanese culture to the world through the medium of snacking, because who doesn't like to kick back, relax, and munch on some snacks? If you want to enjoy more pop and modern Japanese snacks, you can choose Tokyo Treats. But if you want a more traditional Japanese treat experience, you can enjoy Sakurako instead. Each box comes with a booklet inside explaining every snack included. There's a lot of informative Japanese culture that you can learn from that particular booklet. And after trying out both boxes, personally, I preferred the Tokyo Treat box more as it offered a more modern flavor palette, but Sakurako offered great insight to a more traditional approach to snacking. Beluga-chan also tried these out and was blown away by the quality and variety of snacks that are chosen and provided in the boxes. If you are interested, you can use the code in the description as well as the pinned comment to get started on your very own subscriptions. Thank you again to Tokyo Treats and Sakurako for sponsoring this video. So to get a little more in depth with Tighnari, he is heavily reliant on, I personally would say, the electro element. I've tried him with a couple other variations, but nothing really quite works as well as electro. And currently I found that having 2 electro is better than having 2 dendros. And that's also, once again, because of the lack of good dendro characters. Right now we got the Dendro MC and Culling. And honestly, at this point, the Dendro MC is looking as a much better option to use compared to Culling. Now, that's not to say Culling is bad, but if you can get her to higher constellations, she's going to be good. But what I found is that Fischl and Yaimiko, boy oh boy, ever since Yelan came out, these characters that are supposed to be the 5-star versions of their 4-star counterparts have seemingly found their way into teams as a squad. Like, you would think Yaimiko is going to be good enough in this team and you can just kick Fischl out, but no. In fact, having them both on the same team actually is way better than just having one of them. Now, if you are somebody who doesn't feel comfortable playing without a shield, guess what? You can also run Beidou instead of Fischl. Beidou offers more protection, whereas Fischl offers more damage. Both offers good electro application, and let's be honest here, Yaimiko is like the queen of off-field electro damage support, and right now with the Dendro electro reaction, she has just skyrocketed into not S tier. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, Yaimiko is S tier now, but listen people, if you are a Dendro enthusiast and you have a Tighnari, Yaimiko is really good. Her skill cooldowns and just damage support is almost perfectly synced up with the internal cooldown as well. It's not like every millisecond you got lightning strikes. It's timed lightning strikes, and it covers a wide range of combat space, along with her nuke, which is also able to categorize her as a burst support. So with Tighnari being an on-field Dendro character, meaning that the bulk, if not all of his damage is dealt when he is on the field, it's invaluable to have a character like Fischl, like Yaimiko, to be the off-field damage supports. Because in this day and age, without your off-field damage supports, the team just doesn't get enough damage to be relevant in not even just meta, in most combat scenarios, unless you're at a lower world level. But you can even say in domains that if you only have a character that can deal damage when they're on field and you run 4 of those characters, you're gonna have a tough time. Now, the reason Kokomi is in this team and not someone like Zhongli or some other character like Kuki Shinobu is that I found with Bloom, you are able to create insane instances of multiple Bloom buds, and having Yaimiko's passive Electro proc aggravate, and everything just explodes. Like the damage, it stacks really fast and almost instantaneous. Even with me running a level 50 Tighnari, the reactions that I'm getting out of this particular team has been wildly explosive, if that makes any sense. For people wondering, what about other team barriers? And what about burning? What about these other possible playstyles? Well, the first thing is that Tighnari himself, his damage scaling is very mid to low. I would even go as far as to say it's very uncharacterized for a 5-star to have this low of a scaling. However, that's not taking into account the catalyzed reaction with Electro, and once all that happens, it scales up very quickly. And as you guys probably are still farming for artifact sets, once you're able to finalize the artifact sets and get the full Dendro set and also get the Gilded Dream set, you're going to have your damage push even further up. And I would say Tighnari at C0 is incredibly free-to-play friendly. He has great damage potential even without his signature weapon, even without any constellations, because he's not the one that's scaling really high. He's relying on the Electro Dendro reaction to do damage. Now think about it like this. We rely on reactions in the past to boost up our already relatively high innate numbers. However, now we have a reaction that is so powerful that it can compensate for the lack of stats for the 5-star character. So expect future Dendro characters, especially if they are like on-field carries or whatnot, or can synergize with Electro, to not have really high base and scaling stats, because it's all there in the reaction and artifacts and all this other crazy stuff that is back end. So it's really important now that we don't look at a character's raw stats and just be like, oh well, this character is gonna suck ass. You have to factor in the reactions, especially the Electro reactions. And this also adds another point. With the introduction of Tighnari, Electro characters are going to see more playtime, especially the off-field ones. But what about the on-field ones? Characters like Kaching, characters like Razor, right? Characters like maybe even Raiden, are they going to see even more playtime when an off-field Dendro character is released? And also, an off-field Dendro support or support DPS could highlight the pros of running a burning comp, for example. Right now, I haven't found burning to work very well with Tighnari, and you probably may say otherwise, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I think burning is amazing with Tighnari. It's just up for personal playstyle and preferences, and I would assume that the other people in the community have similar findings to me, because honestly, I just don't find burning to be that relevant of a reaction with Tighnari. I think burning is going to be much better for an on-field pyro carry with an off-field Dendro support. That's just how I feel it's going to be most optimal. I think if you watched all the way to the end here, you have a question. Like, so is Tighnari even worth building? Is he even worth having if I somehow get him when I lose a 50-50 in 3.1 and beyond? I would say that the longer you wait, the less valuable he's going to become. Give it like 5-6 patches when we have like 3 or 4 more Dendro characters. I don't think Tighnari is going to be that valuable of a character, and that is precisely why he is going to become a standard banner character. Not only because he is first, well, maybe he's designed this way because he is first, therefore that's why he's going to be in a standard banner. But he's definitely a character that's very fun to play with right now. A lot of people do call him Dendro Ganyu, and I could see that. His playstyle feels like Ganyu with C6, but with none of the power, if you know what I mean. Essentially, you have to drop his elemental skill so you can get 3 free charge attacks, essentially. And with those 3 free charge attacks, you lead then into his burst skill, and that's his entire damage rotation. It's very simple, very straightforward, but it offers a fast enough paced playstyle to feel satisfying. His elemental skill also taunts enemies, which could be seen as a crowd control, because let's be honest, it is a crowd control. Anything except bosses so far that I've seen will be taunted, and they'll just wander around meandering in the freaking Dendro cloud that he puts down, essentially in a drugged state. And I find that to be quite useful. It basically makes it so he doesn't need a shielder. As you guys have probably seen throughout the video, he's perfectly functional and fine just running with this particular team. He has great damage dealing environment with his elemental skill combined with his burst iframe. I think he's going to do fine for the next couple of patches, but once more Dendro characters start coming out, you'll start seeing him fall off, I guarantee you. Alright, but with that said, let me know what you guys think about Tighnari and whether you have pulled him. Are you looking forward to having him spoof your 50-50s, or would you want more Chi-Chi constellations instead? Alright, until next time, I urge y'all to stay safe, peace, and have fun out there. Bye.